Guilt, shame, and remorse of conscience. What's the difference? This is actually one of my favorite classes to facilitate. Guilt and shame are often commingled, right? It's hard to parse out those definitions. And is there positive guilt or anything like that? So adding the term remorse of conscience gives us more depth, right? More chances to kind of figure out what's what. So for the sake of this video and the classes I facilitate, guilt is factual. Did something happen or it did not happen? Shame is I am bad because that happened, right? Whether we feel that way because there's an external expectation put on us or a personal expectation put on us. Some sort of false idea has got us thinking, I am bad. And then remorse of conscience. Remorse of conscience frees us so we can move forward. So I'll give you a couple of examples. First is where there is guilt. I yelled at my daughter. And I'm not dogging the normal, oh my gosh, what are you doing, kid? Yelling, like I yelled at her. And I did that. I did that thing, and it went against my personal ethics. And then I felt shame. Oh, I'm such a bad mom. I can't believe I did that. Shame kept me stuck in where I was. And then I wanted to withdraw from my daughter because I'm not good enough for her, right? So making that mistake made me a bad person. And shame keeps us wrapped up in ourselves, punishing ourselves, trying to make penance, all of these things, right? And it just compounded the situation. But when I realized, wait a minute, this is not about me. This is about her. I did something wrong and she is the one who is injured. Then I moved into remorse of conscience. I was genuinely sad that I caused her injury. That allowed me to get out of this shame spiral where, oh, I'm so bad, to, you know what, I made a mistake. When we sat down, I gave a real apology. We talked about it, and I did my best to correct the situation that led to that mistake in the first place, which, you know, I never yelled at her like that again. I would still lose my temper sometimes, but it was a work in progress, and I was moving forward. Okay? And we now had a good dialogue going on. So another example is when I was raised, to be a good woman, part of your value is how you kept your house. And I think we still kind of run into that. I felt like I had to keep my house looking like the cover of a magazine or Pinterest worthy. We didn't have Pinterest back then, but roll with me. Okay. I thought this about myself. This was an expectation. And because of ADHD and some other issues, it was really a challenge for me. And I felt like I couldn't do it, which made me bad. I am less of a person. And then I was able to say, wait a minute, on what value is that based? Is that a value I want to follow? So now remorse of conscience comes in. But how does that come in when I didn't technically do anything bad? Sometimes remorse of conscience is along the lines of, oh, I feel bad that I've been hurting myself. I'm genuinely sorrowful that I've been abusing myself over something that isn't actually an issue. There's no morality to it. So I have trouble keeping my house clean. It's a fact. I'm not a bad person. And I'm not going to beat myself up over it anymore. I'm going to learn coping mechanisms and, you know, understand myself better. So guilt is simply something happened or something didn't happen. What are the actual facts of the case? Then shame is, excuse me, shame is I am bad because I did that. And we get stuck. And then remorse of conscience pushes us out of that because now it's about someone else. It's about following our ethics, our morals, and becoming a better person and making amends when it's necessary and helping others heal from the injury we've caused them, whether we've caused an injury to ourselves or an injury to somebody else. So anyway, that's a quick rundown of guilt, shame, and remorse of conscience. Thank you so much.